We can see. Let's go. Let's see. Ladies, we are here tonight on the show. And tonight we are going to be doing um we're going to be doing some wrestling news, and then we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw. So the first thing is both WWE and AEW are struggling with the ratings with the NBA playoffs. Yesterday, that Warriors Lakers team got massive ratings. They're saying maybe they broke a record over like 10 years of ratings in the NBA. So that's why they're stepping the shows up. You know, WWE's doing the tournament for the world champion with the triple threat matches. They're doing that other storyline with Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. They're trying to do the best they can. Same thing AEW stepping up. I think they're having John Moxley versus Kenny Omega in a steel cage match, along with some other stuff. And the reason both shows are starting to stack up like this, especially AEW, is because of the NBA playoffs. And they're just really having a hard time competing. I believe Rampage didn't even get 300,000 views this past Friday. That's how bad it was. And they only got about 700,000 on Wednesday for Dynamite. So WWE also, they didn't get the good rating for Monday Night Raw this past last week. We'll see how it does tonight. I'm not sure if the ratings have coming out. But yeah, man, AEW really struggled, especially with only getting less than 300,000 for Rampage and only 700,000 for Dynamite. So that's why everything's so stacked up. Tony Khan keeps tweeting pay-per-view on Wednesday night Dynamite. He's trying to promote it. He's trying to get views and everything. But let's move on. They're saying that the Way family, which is Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, Indy Neidhart, and Dexter Lumis, along with Tommaso Ciampa. That's a family supposedly from NXT. They're called The Way. And so supposedly, I think even yesterday, Johnny Gargano said he's coming back soon. And I think he was referring to Tommaso Ciampa. And so supposedly, I think they're waiting for Tommaso Ciampa to come back. But once he comes back, supposedly they have a really good plans for their family, the Way family. So we'll see how it goes. Kenny Omega said John Moxley's the MVP of AEW. He said, it's not me. It's not Chris Jericho. It's nobody else. It's John Moxley. Every match is in it so physical. He's always bleeding all over the place. So huge praise by Kenny Omega to John Moxley. And then the final one is Dave Meltzer was talking about how Brock Lesnar got all the blood and how was he going to get fined, because nowadays a lot of wrestlers are not allowed to do blood, but sometimes they want to do blood because they feel it's kind of necessary for their match to make it more dramatic. So they're willing to get blood, and then you have to pay a fine for bleeding, because remember, WWE is like family friendly, so that's not family friendly. Remember, they just came out with a rule saying they don't even want like their cuts and bruises to be posted on social media anymore when they sustain like a bruise or a cut. But apparently, Dave Meltzer says Brock Lesnar does have other rules apply. He's a little bit more hardcore because he comes from that UFC world. So apparently, he will not get fined. He's got a little bit more of a freeway. So that's why I guess he decided to bleed. And I guess everybody's okay with it. Triple H, Vince McMahon, everybody seems to be okay with it. So Brock Lesnar will not be getting fined. And I guess it's apparently because he has more freeway with his contract. I guess it states that if he wants to bleed, he'll bleed. And that's about it with that. And I think that's about it with the news here tonight on a let me see here. Yeah, I think we're done with the news. All right, let's get ready for let's do Monday Night Raw recap. Let's see here. What was the May? I believe it was 8. 2023. All right, let's see here. Let's see here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this. All right, so Raw Man from Jacksonville, Florida. Cody Rhodes right off the bat comes out and he says, "Yeah, this was my home during the pandemic." Jesus Christ, obviously referring to Daily's Place. That's where AEW did their shows during the pandemic in 2020 and 2021. Cody Rhodes, man, don't give a shit. So like I said, Cody Rhodes starts things off. And then he says, talks about his match with Brock Lesnar and stuff like that. And then he says, now my main focus is the World Heavyweight Championship. And I want to be the first person to win this tournament and stuff like that. And he's staring at he walks out, he walks off the ring, he stares at the World Heavyweight Championship. And then Seth Rollins' music hits. And officially the tournament starts. The first triple threat match is Seth Rollins versus Damian Priest versus Shinsuke Nakamura. That's the first one, man. Very good match here. Seth Rollins wins it, man. He hits the pedigree and he beats Shinsuke Nakamura with the pedigree. So Seth Rollins advances. And then Imperium are backstage and they walk up to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They challenge them to a match. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn accept. So there's that. Then we get Otis being accompanied to the ring by both Maxime Dupree and Chad Gable as he's wrestling Mustafa. Mustafa wins the match. The whole time, both Chad Gable and Maxime Dupree are trying to give Otis advice. Otis is confused. He doesn't know who to listen to. So that costs him the match. Mustafa Ali wins the match. I'm not sure where they're going with this, man. Jesus Christ. The Miz is backstage trying to convince Shinsuke Nakamura to be a tag team. But instead, Shinsuke Nakamura tells him, you know what? Next week, you're right. We'll be in the ring, but we'll be fighting each other. So I guess next week's Miz versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Then we get the next triple threat match. Cody Rhodes versus Finn Balor versus The Miz. Not sure where The Miz is in this. But anyways, this is Cody Rhodes is about to win this one. He hits the crossroads. And then freaking Brock Lesnar comes in and he causes him. He pulls him out of the ring. He hits an F5 on the floor. And then he hits another F5 on the table, on the announce table. Meanwhile, Finn Balor hits the coup de grace on The Miz. And Finn Balor wins. Finn Balor advances. And then, meanwhile, Brock is just beating the shit out of Cody Rhodes. Like, look at me, look at my face. Like, he's got a black eye and he's got like a big scar on his forehead. And he challenges him to a fight at Night of Champions. Then later on the night, Cody Rhodes is getting checked by the medical staff and he does an interview. He says, I accept your match at Night of Champions, Brock Lesnar. We'll fight again. So there's that. Officially, that's the first match for Night of Champions. We'll get to, obviously on Friday. We'll see who Seth Rollins is gonna. But anyways, so there's that. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. That's the main event for later on in the night. Then we get Rhea Ripley versus Dana Brooks. Rhea Ripley wins. After the match, she won't let go of the riptide, the submission hold. Natalya comes out. Natalya and Rhea Ripley have a face-off, and then Rhea Ripley, along with Dominic, walk away. Jesus Christ. They're probably not going to have a good feud for her until probably SummerSlam. So they're just going to not do – we'll see what happens. And then we get the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn tag team match versus Imperium. Imperium, to me, without Gunther, they look pendejo face. I'm not interested in Imperium when they don't have Gunther, man. They always lose. And, of course, again, they lost again. Freaking Sami Zayn hits the Haluba kick, and that's how they win. Obviously, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win. Whatever. You got Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville posting. They're trying to get a petition to get signed, complaining about Adam Pearce because they want a rematch for the tag team titles. Even Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez signs like after we face damage control, we'll see you and stuff. Whatever. Then we get Zoe Starks making her debut on the main roster versus Nikki Cross. Zoe Starks wins the match. And then we get Trish Stratus walks out and she's saying, she's also backstage putting Becky Lynch has been lost. We can't find her. Like when you lose, you're putting up things like when you lose your dog and you're looking for him. And then, she even has the people play her music, and it's just a big, she's just making fun. I fool you guys, whatever. And then the second time the music hits again, she's like, why are we doing this again, guys? Production, we already did it. And then Becky Lynch actually comes out from the crowd. She stands in the ring. She beats the hell out of Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus just runs away. And then Becky Lynch grabs the microphone and says, I'm here to fight you, man. The man is here to fight you. And then the production truck just cuts her off. They fucking shut down her microphone. It was hilarious. And then on Twitter, you got Becky Lynch going to the production truck, and she punches the guy for turning off her microphone. That was hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. Now they're saying they're going to do this match at Night of Champions. I thought this was first. They're going to have this match at SummerSlam, but I don't even know now, man. Let's see here, man. Then we get Dominic versus Xavier Woods. Obviously, Dominic wins. Let's see here, man. And then I think we get the main event, Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Great match, man. At some point in the match, Finn Balor power bombs Seth Rollins through the security barricade. About 7 years ago, that's how Seth Rollins did that move to Finn Balor, and Finn Balor broke his shoulder. And then next night he had to relinquish the Universal Championship. So they do that. The whole match after that, Seth Rollins is obviously hurt. My shoulder. He hits a powder glue with only one arm. He's selling the injury. At the end, man, he hits a curse stomp from the front first. Hits Finn Balor right in the freaking face. And then he hits another one, the usual normal way he hits the curse stomp, which is like in the back of the head around the neck area. And that's how he wins the match. So Seth Rollins, man, is officially advancing. He will be fighting at Night of Champions versus the winner of SmackDown's tournament. We had the 2 triple threat matches on SmackDown. And then whoever wins those 2 matches will fight in the main event on SmackDown. And then so we'll see on Friday. Everybody's saying it's going to be AJ Styles. So we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We will see what happens. We will see what happens. But this show, man, this show was very outside of the World Heavyweight Championship tournament and the whole Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar. Nothing really mattered, man. I'm sorry. This was not for this to be your first show with the new roster. It was not that good, man, honestly. I think they got a little bit too confident, right, with the World Heavyweight Championship tournament. They're like, that's 3 matches right there, right? 2 triple threat matches and then the one-on-one match. But nah, man, it's still, I don't know. I thought like the Trish Stratus Becky Lynch thing kind of fell flat. If they were trying to get people hype up with the Rhea Ripley, Natalya, that didn't really go over either. Yeah, I don't know. I think this show, if they really wanted to hit a home run, they didn't, man. It wasn't that good. I didn't think, outside of the Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes, and the whole World Heavyweight Championship tournament, I didn't think this show was that good, honestly. The card wasn't very good either. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if the crowd just seemed bad because of obviously how energetic they were over the weekend in Puerto Rico. Maybe that has something to do with it. This crowd just seemed more normal, and with what happened in Puerto Rico, how loud they were, they said, like, this crowd sucks. Maybe they didn't suck. Maybe it was just that Puerto Rico's crowd was so good that made this crowd look like really bad, really weak. But anyways, until next time, holla. Let's